Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 5 of our 2024 challenge. I'm Dr. Duck Bone, world famous bariatric surgeon, retired since 2018. You might know me from my COVID video, but welcome on in. Every day for the month of January, next 31 days, I am going live every single day, roughly the same time, unless I'm traveling. And yes, I'm wearing Erica's leopard print bathrobe. Yes, I'm wearing my Christmas Day pajamas, but that's what this is all about. Like, there's no faux hawk happening. There's no, like, I'm unshaven. Why are we doing this? We're doing this because last month I was in the hospital from a diverticular bleed. I was white as a ghost. I was literally white as this envelope. I was so white that the ER doctor goes, "Oh my God, you are so pale." And she goes, I've never seen you before, and you are pale. So, spurred me to want to go back and deliver more messages like Mr. Chris here thanking me. Thank you, Carrie Martinez. What's up, Elizabeth, Lena, Yvonne, Lisa. How's everyone doing? Thema Pacheco, Margaret Kerr, Juliet. What's up, girl? Hope you're doing great, Juliet. Miss you. So, some people are watching this on Facebook, some people are watching this on YouTube, but thank you for watching it. Welcome to the replay if you're watching this on the replay. You can fast forward to about the 5-minute mark if you don't want to stick around for all of the hellos and goodbyes. And if you are showing up as Facebook a user like this, just make sure you give StreamYard permission. You just click on the StreamYard link. Good morning, Tess. Good to see you again. Sally's one of my followers from down under. So what time is it there? It's probably 11 p.m. or so. Patty Eckert, longtime follower. How are you doing? Recognize the names. Welcome on in, everybody. Do me a favor, hit like and hit share. Tag some people. I know I'm always asking you to share the feed, but super important. Giving away good information. It's all free. Not selling you anything. There's no hook at the end of this, man, unless you want it to be. We usually have 100, 150 watchers, so we're up to 42. So let's get in there. You know what, Casey? Oops, 11 p.m. I was right. Look at Dr. V. Casey Sunshine. I always think invincible. Yeah, that was my first time as a patient, and it's weird. It really made me think differently about I regretted some of the things I did and said or didn't do or didn't say, or could have been more sensitive for sure. But I got 2 units of blood and CAT scan, colonoscopy. My dad died at the age of 65 after a short battle with colon cancer, metastatic upon discovery, very advanced. And so I was sitting there waiting on my CAT scan results because, we're checking me for bleeding. I'm just like, oh, please don't let there be any masses. As a general surgeon trained, I mean, that's kind of my area of expertise. Well, my area of expertise is bariatrics, but it was kind of a little bit nerve-wracking. Then you're thinking, because in case you don't know, I have a 8-month-old baby with Erica named Milani. We have a 7-year-old daughter named Mason. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, dude, like, what if I'm like my dad and this colon cancer is metastatic and I have 9 months? What would that be all about? So I made it through the holidays. Everything, thank God, came back negative, just a diverticular bleed, and made it through the holidays, had fun, enjoyed every bit of it. But I will tell you, there's like a little bit of oomph these days with Dr. V now. Coming out of COVID, finally. I mean, we've been kind of declared free from COVID for a couple of years now, a year and a half. But comment if you're like me, you're just kind of slowly getting back into the routine, air traveling without masks, going to the grocery store without masks. We've had this uptick in surge cases, but not death rates, which means depending on what you believe, there's enough immunity out there that it's holding down the death rates. But this last week, my 7-year-old has a cough. My 8-month-old ended up having an ear infection. Erica had the flu, got better for a day, and then relapsed with the flu. So you never know. And then I've been taking care of all of them. It is true. Oh, there's a lot of RSV too, and it's never going to end. And as long as we have this global warming and these polar ice caps are melting, we're going to have all sorts of new viruses and parasites. So, Dr. V, how is that possible? How is it possible if something's been frozen for 100,000 years or a million years? How do we get new viruses? Well, it's just like with COVID virus. Viruses are not technically alive, which is one of the fascinating things about viruses. They just float around the air. They have their replication mechanism, and they are, I wouldn't say creatures, they are structures of opportunity. And they are one of nature's weird little things that not technically alive, just happens to be an encapsulated reproduction mechanism, and that's all it is, and it makes people sick. It's pretty crazy. So we are at the 5-minute mark. Hit share and like. We're actually at the 6-minute mark, and really quickly, let's I'm gonna do my introduction. Hi everybody, Dr. Vuong here, world famous bariatric surgeon. I retired, author of 13 books. I actually have 5 new journals up for sale also. This is day 5 of our 2024 challenge. I'm going live every single day, month of January. Welcome on in, everybody. Thank you very much. I will probably put this up on YouTube if you want to watch this for posterity's sake forever. But we've been talking about goal setting and why goal setting is pretty much useless without systems, and why systems are useless without goals. Systems without goals is like a ship without a destination, right? And then goals without systems is a ship that knows where it wants to go, but does not have sails or a rudder or an engine. So you need both. And one of the things we've been working on is goals. And our first challenge from day 1 was to get clear on your goals, because most people don't even know what the F they want. They just know I just want my life to change, but they can't tell you what it is they want to change. I just want to be happier. Well, then, you just decide to be happier, right? No, fuck you, Dr. V. I just want less stress. Well, then, you have to gain skills to control those things, like systems to pay your bills on time, or not staying up late, or Netflixing instead, studying for online certificate that makes you qualified for promotion so that you can get a higher pay grade, for example. But no, I need my downtime to chill. Well, then, newsflash, your life is going to keep sucking. Jim Rohn, one of my very early mentors, now he was a virtual mentor online, YouTube. He says his mentor, Earl Shoaff, Jim Rohn tells a story about how his life was terrible. He was young, he was married, he was broke, he was living paycheck to paycheck, and he wanted his life to change. And the piece of advice that changed his life from his mentor, Earl Shoaff, who he always credits and then passes on every time he gave a talk, he would say, Earl Shoaff said to me, and I will pass it on to you. He said, Mr. Rohn, in order for things to change for you, you must change. And when I heard that, I was probably in 2010, 2008. I finished residency in 2005. I took a job down in a little town halfway between Houston and Galveston. I started a little private practice. I was struggling. I never even paid myself. I was buying real estate, beach homes, you name it, I owned it. I had a little small apartment complex. I had an RV park. I had a trailer park. You name it, I owned it. I had $4 million worth of real estate, which really means you had $4 million worth of debt. I started to realize my practice was not going to make it on its own. I switched to bariatrics, made my first profitable month, and then Hurricane Ike hit me, wiped me out, didn't operate for 6 months. I treaded water for about 3 years, trying to keep everything afloat. Rob Peter PayPal. Comment if you've ever had to rob Peter to PayPal. And um, boy, I just didn't know what I was going to do. And it's crazy, because all my friends, by this point, I had very few friends, but they all thought, I had money because I'd made it. I was a surgeon. And comment if you've ever been broke as a joke, yet everyone thinks you're doing okay. That's that whole thing about depression. Everyone thinks you're okay on the outside, but you're not okay on the inside. Everyone thought I was doing okay, but my bank accounts were all empty, and in fact, they were all in the red. You ever had those times when you go to pass the everyone expects you to pay for dinner, and you pass the credit card, and you're like, oh my god, please let this go through. Please let this go through. So, 2011, age of 37, I was near suicidal. Didn't know what to do. And like every good entrepreneur, I reached the end of my ropes. I was like, I don't know what to do. So I basically did what every good entrepreneur does. I crawled into the fetal position in the corner in the guest bedroom. And I just said, Duck, don't do anything. Don't do anything. And I said, I said, dear Lord, and I'm not religious, by the way, I said, dear Lord, if I survive tonight, I promise you, if I see the morning, I'm going to change my life. It's 2011. I was how I was 38 years old, and and I fell asleep. Sometime during the night, I crawled into the little bed there in the guest bedroom, and I woke up next morning. I saw the sunrise, and my life has never been my life has never been the same ever since. I woke up and I started. I had no friends. I had no mentors. I had nothing. I started listening to Jim Rohn and put my ear. This probably happened around 2009. In 2010, I declared bankruptcy in 2011, but I realized I couldn't keep going. So that was probably around 2010. I woke up and I went looking on YouTube back then. Who remembers back then YouTube videos they were limited to 10 minutes. And so if I wanted to listen to an hour-long Jim Rohn talk, I'd have to find all 10 episodes. And so in one of his talks, he said, my mentor told me, Mr. Rohn, in order for things to change for you, you must change. I still tear up thinking about it because that's what I needed to hear. In case you don't know my story, I immigrated as a little kid from Vietnam. I was one of the boat refugee people. My dad and I picked me up and came over. We were in a refugee camp in Thailand, got sponsored in the United States, showed up with just the clothes on our backs. Don't think I even had a toothbrush. And I was 6 and he was 36. I don't even know how we made it in the first night when we came. We went through the port of entry through Houston, oddly. And, eventually he settles down. And he's 36, doesn't speak English. I'm 6, I don't speak English. I start kindergarten towards the end of, I had like 2 months of kindergarten, then first grade. Second grade, I was identified as gifted and talented and put into GT classes. And ever since then, I tested out. Smartest kid, pretty much, or one of the smartest kids. Went to college. My first college and my first choice here in Houston, Rice University. Med school, my first choice, Texas A&M. I wanted a smaller med school. My first choice of residency. My first choice of a job when I was done. And my whole life, I had all my first choices, right? Some people tell the stories about how they were just like so abused as little kids and had problems and were dyslexic and couldn't read and would tell they were going to fail and all sorts of stuff. I was the opposite. I was always the winner. You know what I mean? I came home with a lot of academic math tournament trophies and all sorts of stuff. I had, you name it, I had it. I had the trophies, the ribbons, the medals, scholarships. I think when I graduated high school, I I had almost $200,000 worth of scholarships that I had won. And even after med school, I finished med school with a undergrad degree at Rice University, which is not cheap. I only owed like $85,000. When you think about the average doctor has like $250,000 worth of debt. So here we are, we're struggling, and I don't know what to do, and I just dive into personal development. To this day, I read books. This morning, I was reading Maximum Achievement by Brian Tracy. I decided to actually do it. I met Dr. Ben Hardy. Anyone follow Ben Hardy on YouTube? This is his new book, 10x is easier than 2x. You name it, I've probably read it. I mean, Atomic Habits, Grant Cardone's Be Obsessed or Be Average, 10x, all that sort of stuff. This is a cool little book from some Stanford professors, Bill Burnett, Designing Your Life. Very good book. Highly recommend that book. And it started with, write this down. Here I am, smart, surgeon, 38 years old or so, suicidal, broke. And the thing that I realized that changed my life, write this down. The thing that I realized that changed my life, I said, everything that I know, not think, not believe, not theorize, not deduce, but I know. If you had asked me, I would have told you, I know this is the way to market. I know this is the way to do surgery. I know this is the way to build my practice. I know I'm the best. I know. Everything that I know got me broke and suicidal at the age of 38. And I live in America. I live in the land of opportunity. And by this point, my dad had passed away of colon cancer. That's how I started this talk. And I lost my best friend. I lost my only mentor. I lost my own voice of reason. And here I am all alone, a rudderless, sailless, engineless boat with no destination, no systems, no nothing. And the first step, write this down, actually put me in the comment section if you want your life to change. I don't know where I find you today. Maybe you have a good life, but you want it to be better. There's more. In fact, you can put more if you want more in life. Thanks, Scott. That's my book. So, you can have a good life, but you can still want more, and you can still want better, and you can still want more passion and more money and more love and more direction, more guidance, more equanimity, more peace, more calmness. See, everybody says more. Nobody wants less. Anybody want less? Even billionaires don't want less. Even millionaires don't want less. Nobody wants less. I mean, that's the whole argument about taxes. They're going to take more tax dollars? No. Fuck no. I want more. Everybody always wants more. So step number one, if you want more, everything I know got me here. All my decisions, all my choices, how I interact with my mother-in-law, how I react to my teenage daughter, or how I act when my boss puts another file on my desk, how I react when I turn on the news and I see, Trump trial, and how I see Biden stammering, and how I see fucking Congress can't fix any problems, how I see war and bombing and blah. Yesterday there was just another mass shooting in Iowa. What the hell? And then you sit there and go, it's not a gun issue, Dr. B, it's a mental health issue. Like, well, it might be a mental health issue, but if it didn't have guns, or it had limited guns, or didn't have whatever they're called, I don't know, AK, AR rifles, automatic rifles, you limit the damage. How about that? So everything got me where I am. So here's what I want you to do. Look around, stop what you're doing. Even if you're driving, actually, look around. Your house, your job, your desk, your coffee mug. This is my ranch, by the way, Vita Bonita. You drinking someone else's coffee mug, or you drink your own coffee mug? I made this. Your house, This is Erica's bathrobe. Everything you've got is because of the choices you've made, because of how you thought. You're thinking. And you can put stinking thinking. If you're not happy, it's my stinking thinking. Everything around you, the car you're driving, are you driving the car you want to drive? Or are you driving a jalopy? You have one that's, and it's okay to drive. I have several jalopies, don't get me wrong. And, sometimes that's what you want. You want a 12-year-old car with 150,000 miles. My Suburban has 205,000 miles on it. It's a 16. No, it's a 15, and I bought it with 170,000 miles on it. So, but it's what I wanted. So everything you have around you is what you want. Your significant other, your job, where you're living, your house, you're renting. See, everybody who's renting an apartment or renting a house wishes they owned a house. And everyone who owns a house wishes that they were free and clear from the mortgage, because then they really don't own the house. Everyone who's free and clear with a mortgage is like, dude, we lived in this fucking house for 40 years. It's falling apart, needs repairs. I wish I lived in an apartment, or I wish I rented it, and that way, like, the landlord would take care of all the shit. See, everything you have, you don't want, someone else wants. Everything, that you wish you had, someone else would gladly give it to you. My joke is like, why won't the joke I had for years was, why won't anyone marry Jennifer Aniston? You remember that? Brad Pitt, John Mayer, like everyone dates Jennifer Aniston, no one marries her. She's rich, she's famous, she's beautiful. I'm like, why won't people marry her? What's going on? So, it's that Sheryl Crow song. It's not getting what you want; it's wanting what you got. Step number one, everything I know got me here. So when I was suicidal, and how I turned it around was, I said, if everything I know got me suicidal and broke, then everything I know must be wrong. Must be wrong. And here I am, tested out, smart, gifted and talented, top of the class, got into surgery residency, right? Like, I had to let go of my ego and admit that everything I know, not think, not postulate, everything I know is wrong. Do you know how hard that is? It's hard for the average person. For someone who's gotten everything they wanted their whole life, it's really hard. That's what I had to do. I had to shut the fuck up. In my private group, my paid group, that's one of the things I say. I was like, man, I just had to shut the fuck up. I had to shut up. So step number 2, I gave up all opinions. Because if what I thought is wrong, then all my fucking opinions are wrong. Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, they should raise interest, lower interest. Somebody should marry Jennifer, somebody should not. What should they wear? Blah, blah, blah. It's a sale, it's a deal, it's not a good deal. Like, no. What color, Dr. V, what color should the pamphlets be? Whatever you want. What color should the scrubs be? Whatever you'd like. Should we have the meeting for 30 minutes or an hour? Whichever one you want. I had no opinions on anything. And if you want to challenge next one, I want you to take note of how many times what you're saying or thinking is in fact not truth. It's actually an opinion. And what you're going to figure out is it's all fucking opinion. And like every opinion is made with incomplete and inaccurate data and information. So inherently it's wrong. Now there's degrees of wrong. It's probabilities of wrongness and rightness. Something's a little bit less wrong. Something's a little bit more wrong, Like murder's wrong. Unless someone molested my daughter, then maybe murder's okay. You see what I'm saying? I'm kidding. I would never commit murder, but like sometimes you want to. There are different degrees of wrong, different degrees of right. So For me, like for example, like an insurrection on January 6th, for me is completely wrong. But for the people who felt like they had to do it, for them, it was like justified. Like, okay, but you're going to suffer the consequences. My point. So everything I know is wrong. So therefore, all my opinions must be flawed to some degree. And in my current state, they were more flawed than they were right. These days, my opinions are probably more right than wrong, but I try to not even express my opinion. I mean, I really try not to have an opinion. And in fact, one of the problems with COVID, everyone thinks, oh, it was a lockdown, it was a lockdown. No, it made me come out and start to have an opinion, which drew a lot of hate, built up my ego, shut down my ego. And here I've been struggling for the last, if you're wondering what happened to me on my YouTube channel or social media, it's like, dude, I struggled for coming out of COVID. I was like, dude, we're kind of done with this COVID thing. You know, I was like, what do I do next? And then I got to try to get back to having no opinion. If I have no opinion, then who's going to watch me? So then I had this health scare. And then I was like, well, fuck it. I'm going to die soon. We're all going to die. I might as well impart any sort of wisdom I might know. So one, you have to accept the fact that everything that you know got you to where you are. And if you don't like it, then everything you know has got to change. It's got to change. And so then I shut the fuck up. I gave up all opinions. Now, why is this important? Why is this hard? This is going to lead to what we're talking about. It's gratitude. And this is one of my journals on Amazon. Very nice, but you don't have to get it. You can just get. I moved it to the other. You can just have a sheet of paper. And yesterday we just wrote down the sentence that will change your life. And it only takes 30 seconds. Don't do wrong. I'm too busy to journal. I can't be journaling every day. You're not journaling like, oh, dear diary, little Timmy pulled my hair and I'm so hurt. Like, I sure hope my mommy is so mean. Like, no, this is not that sort of journaling. This is 30 seconds to change your life. Write that down. 30 seconds to change your life. You simply take out your journal and you write down, I am grateful and thankful for blank. I'm grateful and thankful for today. I am grateful and thankful for the sunrise. I'm grateful and thankful for a roof over my head. Don't say my shitty house. Just say, I'm grateful and thankful to have a roof over my head. Don't say, I'm grateful and thankful for my lazy, broke ass husband. Because your subconscious knows you're lying. I'm grateful and thankful to have a family, that my family's healthy. And what you want to do is write the future like it's the present tense. So let's say you have $500 in your bank account. You barely rubbing nickels. You want to write, I'm grateful and thankful I have $1,000 in my bank account, even though you might only have 500. You see what I'm saying? Because maybe having $100,000 is too big. And this is what average people do. They say, I'm going to make $100,000 this year. Like, how much did you make this last year? I made 25. Well, how are you going to get to 100? I don't know, but I'm going to do it. No, you're not. It's too big of a leap. You know, it won't happen. Well, it's highly unlikely to happen. So this gratitude thing, all right? So your head is noisy with sound and opinions and the news and this and that, right? And you've got to, number one, stop the noise. So here's the challenge. Challenge number day 5. And this is what I do in my private group. Okay, everybody, put in the comment section if you are already doing this, or are you willing to take this challenge? Stop watching the news. There's nothing good about the news. I need to know what's going on. No, you don't, because everybody's already going to tell you. You can't escape it. And even if you knew what was going on, it wouldn't change it. And the news is not there to educate you or improve your life or to tell you. It's not. It's there to sell advertising. And now you can't get away. Well, I don't watch television, Dr. V. Well, you know, on the bottom of Facebook, there's a whole news thing that you can watch. You see people post about it. People share links about it. You can't get away from it. So comment if you are going to take the challenge of not watching the news, or if you, like Karen Williams, has already stopped watching the news, right? Good. Yes. Kim Ortiz, life been much better. See, Sheila, you got to stop. That's the challenge. AC's in my private group. She hasn't watched for 3 years. Carrie Martinez, decades. Yes, yes, yes. Don't watch the news. Challenge number next one. Don't watch the news. And that's everything, y'all. Some of you, well, Dr. V, I don't watch television. Do you read Cosmo? Do you read trash magazines? I got to see what's happening with the Kardashians. I got to watch Vogue. I got to watch Vanderpump. Like, no. So that's the challenge as to why, because you're getting marketed to. I want you to understand this. Whenever you watch TV, watch the news, read trash magazines, they are putting junk in your mind, in your brain. They are marketing to you. They said you're inadequate unless you buy the latest and greatest iPhone. I just did. But I had to, because my last iPhone, which was a 12, got ran over by a car in the middle of the highway because it fell out of my pocket. Wait for it. When I was releasing a possum I had caught in my backyard. True story. Who was trying to get in my chicken coop. So if you feel inadequate, if you feel ugly, if you feel uneasy and anxious, Dr. V, I just want my anxiety to stop. Turn off the fucking news. I just want to love myself more. Quit reading Cosmopolitan. Because all it does is show you beautiful, skinny, ridiculous people that are not even average people, which is good for them. I mean, I'm jealous. I wish I was that good looking or successful or, dating, like Taylor Swift or some shit like that. But it's okay. But they want you to think that way. Dr. V, you're talking girly shit. I'm a real man. Oh. How many hours do you waste watching football? Just Sundays, Dr. V. And Monday evenings, and Thursday night football, and Friday night high school football. Well, my son's in the band, Dr. V. I got to go to Friday night football. It's a religion here in Texas. And college football. Well, I gotta root for my college, like Roll Tide. And now it's like, it used to be NFL playoffs were on Saturdays and Sundays, and now it's like for the last 2 or 3 weeks they've had pro games on Saturday. It's 7 days a week is football. And not only that, what do you do when you're in your car? Well, I gotta listen to sports talk radio. I got to know what's happening. I got to know who to bet on. I got to know what's happening with my fantasy team. And you wonder why your life sucks. And you wonder why your kids think that you're absentee. You wonder why oops, I forgot to take out the trash, or oops, I forgot to pay the electricity bill. I did that several times. So you got to shut out all this noise, because that's what it is, y'all. That's what it is. It was just noise. Why could I not make the right decisions when I was broke? Noise. Too much extraneous stuff. I would fall for schemes. I would have marketing people come to my office. This lady came into my office, like, hey, I do commercials, and for $20,000, I can have a commercial running on TLC. And if you know anything about commercials, you can't track any of that shit. You don't know who's seen it, who's watched it. Sure, they'll show you demographics, but when your commercial airs, is anyone watching it? That's shit that you didn't know back then. So back to gratitude, right? So you have all this noise. You got to shut it out, challenge number 1. And then you got to do gratitude. Okay. Next challenge. We're almost done. Next challenge is, as you go through today, day 5, I want you to stop and listen to your thoughts, what you said, and see what's opinion. What you're going to find, someone put that in the comments for me. Almost everything you're thinking about is an opinion. except for the 1 hour of work you actually do that you squeeze into your 8-hour workday. You squeeze in 1 hour work into your 8-hour workday. The rest of the time, it's just chit chat, opinion, right? So challenge number 2, see how many of your thoughts today are actually just opinions on politics, on the government, on pop culture, on music. I like this song is an opinion, right? And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, I didn't have that opinion. Like, hey Doc, what do you think of the movie? Hey, do you want to get sure? What is it? Like, I cut it all out. Not find out what is opinion. Just pay attention. No, AC, that's not right. You're gonna pay attention to your thoughts and keep a note of how many of your thoughts are actually opinions. Opinions, not facts, not truth. Trump needs to be reelected. That's an opinion. Biden's doing a horrible job. That's an opinion. Biden's doing a great job is an opinion. The border is not secure. Opinion. Border is secure. Opinion. It's just like none of it's true. Right? I'm no good at math. Opinion. It's just not true. Oh no, Dr. Reed, it's true. No, it's not true. It's not true. I'm an anxiety ball. Not true. That is an opinion. Think about that. I'm really stressed out. Are you? Are you? Are you? It's really just an opinion. Okay. Challenge number. So you're gonna notice your thoughts, notice how many of your opinions, and then along with that, how many of those words that you're saying, those thoughts in your head, are toxic? Are toxic. The words I'm using are toxic. Toxic could be like, oh my God, the president's an idiot. Oh my God, my husband's so lazy. Toxic. Oh my God, I'm just so unmotivated. Toxic. I am unmotivated. I guess I'm unlovable. Do you have this friend who hasn't had a date in a long time? I guess no one loves me. I guess no one wants to date me. I'm toxic. Those words are toxic. I can't control myself around snacks. Toxic. You shouldn't even be snacking. So how many of the words you're saying are toxic? Dr. V, I just really need to learn self-love. That's my problem. I need to love myself more. Then I would put myself first. Listen to what you just said. I need to love myself more? Who else are you going to love? You'd rather be dead? I mean, these are toxic words. You don't think they are, but they really are. If I love myself more, then I would put myself first. How about you put yourself first, then you'll end up loving yourself more. And lastly, why gratitude? I watched this YouTube video recently. Write this down, and I want to put this up in the comment section because this is really important. Hang on with me. We're almost done. This, I need to look up her name, but she said, when I don't express gratitude, my wanting is bottomless. And I said, whoa, that is obesity in a nutshell. That is paycheck to paycheck in a nutshell. That is a sex addiction in a nutshell. That's a gambling addiction in a nutshell. That is alcohol addiction in a nutshell. That's obesity in a nutshell, man. When I don't express gratitude, my wanting is bottomless. I want, and we're just coming out of Christmas. How many of y'all spent a shit ton of money, bought people a lot of presents just to watch them tear it open 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes later, and they're off doing something else? They don't even care. Like you took a long time to order them this journal, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. Oh, this is great, thanks. And next thing you know, like they forgot. They left your house and they forgot it. They just went shopping last weekend, but there's a new shop. Like there's a new sale. I got to go this weekend. No, there's always a sale. My wanting is bottomless. I wanted more money. I wanted more fame. I wanted more patience. Because I didn't have any gratitude. And then I started being thankful for my patients, my boss, my coworkers, my front desk girl. Instead of like, my front desk girl is an idiot. She doesn't know how to schedule. She blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, no. I'm grateful and thankful for my front desk girl. I'm grateful and thankful for the janitors. I'm grateful and thankful for my kids' school teacher. I'm grateful and thankful for the police officers. I'm grateful and thankful. Everyone says they're grateful and thankful for police officers until they get pulled over for a speeding ticket. You're grateful and thankful for the armed forces until they take an action that you don't like. You're grateful and thankful for the men in blue until you hit them over the head with a flagpole because some orange man tells you to do it. It's just bizarre to me. I'm not political. I know it sounds like I am, but I'm not. I don't really have an opinion on what you think. I'm just pointing out the inconsistencies of that sort of thinking. And it's because your brain is too loud. Your mind is too loud. You have to get quiet. And if you want your life to change, you must change. And to change that, start with expressing gratitude. Because if you don't express gratitude, you will always be in a state of wanting more. I'm not happy with my wife. I'm not happy with Jennifer Aniston. I'm not happy with $1 million. I'm not happy with 500 million bucks. I'm not happy with 2 cars. I need another car. I'm not happy with a great vacation to Disney World. Now I have to go to Niagara Falls. Then I have to go to Paris. I love to travel, by the way. That's, if you choose to travel, that's fine. But when I go, I'm happy is my point. I won this big bet on the football game. I'm going to keep betting until my winnings go to 0. That was me. If I don't express gratitude, my wanting is bottomless. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Dr. Duck Vuong. I'll be back tomorrow, same time. If you found value from this video, I will edit it down, put it up on my YouTube channel where it's shorter. And please like and subscribe, and please hit the share button for me and tag someone who needs to hear this message today. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.